Hi besties, it is I'm back from my travels. I have been traveling. Not this whole entire time, but yeah, life has been busy. Anyway, today we're back and we're gonna talk about how overexposed I am. I'm not gonna hear the end of it in the comments. Oh my goodness, girlfriends. What type of professionalism are we running here? Better? Hopefully right. So today we're going to talk about Zebra Plecos. Some of you might know I do have some Zebra Plecos for quite a while now. I have my oldest one is 2 years old. Well, it's more than 2 years, but I have it for about 2 years already. And the other ones I got, I think last year. They're about the same size, more or less. But I have 3 Zebra Plecos total. I still have them, and today I want to show you their new setup because yes, when we moved I had to create a new setup for them, and I want to talk a little bit about diet because besties, I think we got it wrong. Maybe. I will have to admit I'm a little bit late to the party with the subject. Keeping fish simple, I hope that I didn't mess up the channel name, has made a video about 1 million years ago at this point, aka 1 month maybe, about feeding fish with bloodworms and all of the issues that created anyway. And there were other YouTubers talking about the subject. Not really the point of my video. I don't usually feed my fish bloodworms. I don't know why, it's just, I don't do it. There isn't a major reason for it, I just don't feel like it, pretty much. What I do feed, as far as frozen food goes, is Artemia or brine shrimp. That I do feed. Bloodworms, I just don't. Maybe it's a good thing that I don't. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into the polemic of that. But he was talking about some plecos at some point, and I did see another video talking about the diet of plecos, and I should do a video about what my Zebra Plecos eat because, girlfriend, they ain't eating meat. I don't give them carnivorous diets. Well, I give them a varied diet, let's put it like that. But the general knowledge on Zebra Plecos, if you've ever read about them, is that they're more on the carnivorous side as opposed to other types of plecos that are more algae eaters or at least vegetation eaters. These guys, the Hypancistris maybe generally, which they're a part of, they're more on the carnivorous side. Well, girl, I have not found that to be the case, and I'll tell you all about it. But first, let me show you a little bit their setup because I filmed it, and one video just with their setup will be like a 3-minute video. So we'll go to the setup, show you how they are. I don't even know if I have footage on them. They're sometimes so elusive and hard to film, but I'll show you whatever footage I have with them and their setup, and then I'm gonna come back and talk a little bit about their diet and what I feed them and what I find they like. So let's go ahead and see their setup first. Alright, so the tank I'm using for them is the same tank they've always been in. It's my Blau Shallow, and you have the dimensions and everything on the screen. As a substrate, I'm just using JBL Sandbar sand, which I find to be a really nice looking sand, although personally, I'm not a fan of sand. It's not as easy to clean as gravel, but hey, it's okay, it works for now. For decorations, I'm keeping it simple. I am using a piece of wood that I've had around for a few years now, and it looks absolutely glorious. Spoilers, when I add water, you will not see it. So this setup actually looks better dry than wet, which is bizarre, but anyway. I'm also adding some dragonstone here, which doesn't alter water parameters. Again, I've had it for a few years. And I will also add, as you will see further, their terracotta caves. I have 3 caves, 1 for each. Not that they use them much, but you never know. Maybe I will actually have a pair at some point. Filtration, yeah, it's a bit of an eyesore, but it's the only hang on the back filter that is absolutely noiseless. This is in my living room, and I can definitely recommend this Seachem Tidal. Although it doesn't look good, it's one of, if not the most silent filter I have ever encountered. I'm also using it here because these fish are warm water fish. I'm keeping the temperature at about 28 degrees Celsius. Doing some finishing touches with some glue, and here we are. The setup is pretty much done. Nothing much to it because it's not a planted tank, although you will see I added a few plants. I'm filling it with water. Currently I'm using half tap water, half reverse osmosis water, but I think I'm just gonna switch to tap water because they seem to be a very hardy type of fish. And here is the tank done. Of course, I used my bacteria colonies and all of the things I do to help it cycle and balance faster. And after about a week or two, I added the fish, and this is how the aquarium looks today. For a while, the fish were in a smaller quarantine, and that wasn't nice. I have one that is the smallest of the batch by 1 centimeter or so. He sometimes gets bullied if there aren't enough places to hide. And in the quarantine, he did get a little bit bullied. I noticed his tail was seriously affected, but currently he absolutely recovered. He looks brand new, and everybody has their own corner of the tank. It's hard to catch them on camera because they hide a lot, but I do actually have footage with the smallest of them. You'll see them 2 years ago or 1 year ago. They would actually fit horizontally in the entrance, full body length. Now they absolutely do not. Their tail is absolutely outside of the caves. They've grown a lot, and I love them. I just wish I would see them more. Right, here we are. As always, they have their caves. As you can see, it's not a very planted setup, but that might change. I might do some tweaking to their setup and putting it more plants, because planted tanks are always better than non-planted tanks, is what I always say. That's my motto of life. It's very, very deep thoughts here. Anyway, so the reason why they generally did not actually have a lot of plants in their tanks is because, and some of you will remember, they eat my plants. Yes, they absolutely love to put millions of little holes into my Anubias, into my Amazon swords, Echinodoris. Not so much maybe cryptocorynes, although if they're really hungry, they will attempt the cryptocorynes as well. But generally speaking, Anubias and Hygrophila, the compacta, chef's kiss is like delicacy for them. And that always has baffled me, reading about these fish and not having them until 2 years ago. I never had one because they're so expensive, but 2 years ago I didn't have a mortgage, now I do. Anyway, so I've never had them up until now, and even though I wish I would have more, one, I can't afford them, two, there will be a major size difference in between them because mine are kind of almost mature at this point. They're not, I don't know if they're quite 10 centimeters yet, like 8 they are, 7, 8. So yeah, it always baffled me reading about them that people were feeding them and giving them more of a high protein diet, high protein pellets and things of the sorts. And mine were just completely trashing my plants and eating plants. And well, the answer to that at the time when I researched them was that juveniles do have a more herbivore, let's say, diet. They do eat more plants and algae and stuff than mature or older juveniles do. As they age, they tend to become more carnivorous. So I patiently waited. I let them, from time to time I gave them like a green pellet, which they ate and they didn't necessarily. I gave them a whole bunch of stuff. I'm more of the variety type. I don't like stick to one type of food. I give them everything. I gave them frozen food. Whatever I had, I just gave them. Some stuff they ate, some stuff they didn't, until one day kind of fed up about the holes in my Anubias, because you know what, I love my Zebra Plecos, but at the same time Anubias ain't cheap. So having to replace the Anubias all the time was like, well, there must be a better way. So what I decided to do was to try to give them veggies. And this was like a year ago or a year and a half ago. So I started with the famous cucumber. They ate. I gave them zucchini. They ate so-so. And then I gave them lettuce, and holy moly, mother of holy grail, that's their favorite food. And it has been for the past year and a half. I give them a piece of lettuce, and the next day it looks like moths attacked it. The type of moths that are herbivores. Are moths herbivores as it is? They are, aren't they? They eat natural textiles. I got distracted. Yes. So, yes, I do give them all sorts of fish food. They eat everything. They don't like the pellets, the pleco pellets and stuff. They cannot be bothered. They also cannot be bothered with brine shrimp. the frozen one, they cannot be bothered with it. They cannot be bothered with that shrimp, because sometimes a shrimp dies, they don't eat it. They cannot be bothered with it. What they live for is the nights where I give them lettuce. And I've started to give them lettuce pretty frequently because they attack it. Like yesterday, I didn't give them lettuce like in about a week or so because I was gone. I was on my trip. Yesterday, I introduced a lettuce. I went, had my dinner, and then I went past the aquarium and it already had holes. That's how like excited about it they are and how fast they eat it. And I think they have a better grazing mouth than my snowballs. My snowball pleco. The snowball plecos, they eat leaves and stuff as well, but not so aggressively as the zebra plecos. And you can't say they're babies anymore. They might be older juveniles, right? But I was thinking that at this point, their appetite for greenery would decrease. But no, if anything, it increased. They eat more greenery. When they were tinier, they didn't like completely devour an entire leaf in one night. Now they do. I have to put 2 of them. And I know they eat it because I don't really have snails there, none that moves very fast. I have some neorites that sit in one corner for a week. And I also have some shrimps that I never see on the lettuce. And judging by the fact that it was already full of holes in 1 hour or whatever, it's just them. I do think I have it caught on film when they eat cucumber. They do enjoy cucumber as well. I don't know why they don't like zucchini as well. Maybe I'm gonna try again. I gave them a few times. They didn't really like it. Maybe it wasn't a good zucchini. I'm gonna try again. But lettuce though is like the holy grail. The mothership of feasts is lettuce. And it's weird because lettuce doesn't have too much nutritional value, I guess. But that's what they like. And that's how I managed to keep the plants that I have in the setup like hole free. They have no holes. They have not attempted to eat my beautiful Sordidula blue Bucephalandra, which would have been eaten by now. They did not attempt the Microsorium either. It's because I give them like proper vegetables. I don't know if they would eat bell pepper. I'm gonna try it. They have a very, very good grazing mouth. It's specialized for grazing, judging, and I'll show you, judging by the holes left in the lettuce. And they eat fast. They eat very fast. So, what has been your experience with the zebra plecos? Have you tried to feed them vegetables, or are you keeping them on a fully like high protein diet? Because not that I am an expert or anything, but I'm judging things based on how they react and what they want. If they did not want vegetables, if they preferred high protein diets, they would attack my whatever, the fluval bites, bug bites. They would have attacked the betta food, which I do give them betta food, and they eat it during the night, but they don't like fight over it. With the lettuce, it's madness. It's a whole fiasco. When I put the lettuce, it's done. Like, the lettuce is gone by morning. It's just threads. So I'm just basing this on how they react and what they do. Have you ever had this happen to your zebra plecos? If not, if you have mature zebra plecos, try to give them some lettuce or some veggies and let me know how they react. Because still, I don't know if it's a juvenile thing, although mine are pretty big at this point. I don't know if it's a juvenile thing or we just got the data wrong. We just got their diet a little bit wrong and we're forcing them to eat these very high protein diets when in fact they would really like some greenery, you know, garden side salad now and then. Although mine get like, if not every night, every 2 nights, they get lettuce, they get greenery, they get something, and that's what they want. I do give them high protein food as well. Sprinkle a few pellets here and there, but the lettuce is the choice of food. I'm curious what your experience has been, because for the longest time I've been forcing Max, which is my first zebra pleco, to eat like high protein food, and he did not grow. In 1 year he was almost the same size as the other ones, and I thought, well, maybe he didn't eat enough, although he was like, he didn't look skinnier and he was pretty plump. And he kept eating my plants, and I kept putting him in setups without too many plants because he was eating them. And maybe that was wrong. maybe he didn't grow to his full potential because he didn't want to eat what I was giving him because it was too high protein. I don't know. But for the past year, I've been feeding all of them greenery and they've exploded in growth. Max is like this now, and he's plump and he's beautiful. And I think he's happy. I didn't talk to him, but I think she is happy. I still don't know if I have females and males. I don't know. Anyway, at this point, I don't have money to buy more. I would love to have a pair, but if I don't, I'm just gonna enjoy them as they are. And since I have this experience and I've been managing to save my plants by offering them lettuce, I'm thinking to actually make a proper, fully planted setup for them. Because if lettuce is such a holy grail, they're not even gonna look at my Anubias, because Anubias is kind of hard, pretty thick, and it's an aroid. Theoretically, it's toxic. But they eat it. I don't know. So yeah, again, let me know what your experience has been with the Zebra Plecos. Are you giving them veggies? Do you think we got their diet wrong? I don't know. But I'm like, if they want the lettuce, I'm giving them the lettuce. Cannot hurt, right? The poops that I see afterwards, confirm how much they like it. Anyway, so that has been it on my Zebra Plecos. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry I haven't posted in like a century. But it happens. I'll try to post a little bit more often. I do have some setups and some new ideas and some new stuff that I want to do, so stay tuned for that. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'm curious to read about your experience with the Zebra Pleco. So with that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!